Jamie Dornan, Dakota Johnson. We live for our own happiness, not what others think. It was an autumn evening in Toronto, when the TIFF International Film Awards were taking place amid bright lights and endless cheers. On the red carpet, Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson appeared together, for the first time in 3 years without working together on a project. Jamie wore a dark blue tuxedo, her figure straight, her eyes calm. Dakota, a long white dress hugging her slim body, her dark brown hair loosely falling, looked as if she had stepped out of an old black and white film, so beautiful it was heartbreaking. When the awards ceremony ended, they were seen whispering backstage. A reporter captured the moment when Dakota put her hand on Jamie's chest, as if trying to keep something in his chest from slipping away. No one knows what they said, but that doesn't matter, because a day later, they did something no one expected. The shocking post. The next day, Jamie Dornan's Instagram account updated a photo, 2 coffee cups, placed side by side on a railing overlooking the ocean. The caption read, "It's time. We live for our happiness. No care what others think." Number tag. No mention of Dakota. But netizens understood. Very quickly, Dakota also posted a similar photo, with the caption, "I'm tired of acting. Now I just live real. With real people." All of Hollywood seemed to stop for a moment of silence. The couple, once the symbol of persistent rumors, since the 50 Shades of Grey era, now seemed to be saying, "We don't hide anymore." The past is not easy. No one knows exactly what happened after the years they were apart on screen. Jamie had a family of his own. Dakota was secretive about relationships that were never confirmed. In interviews, both of them always spoke of each other with respect, but never as love. But they say, eyes don't lie. Years ago, when they looked at each other at press conferences, when Dakota put her hand on Jamie's after a sensitive question, when Jamie smiled apologetically after a press tease, those moments, though small, were genuine. They may have tried to forget each other, or tried to live according to what others thought was right. But happiness is not easy to assume. The media is out. The news spread quickly. All the major newspapers were headlined, "Jamie Dornan, Dakota Johnson go public after years of silence." Declaring truth, they choose love, ignoring prejudice. 50 Shades fans are up in arms. This is the ending they've been waiting for. A wave of support erupted. The hashtag Jamie Dakota Real climbed to the top of Twitter within 3 hours. But at the same time, there were mixed opinions. Some called them selfish and irresponsible for their past. Some were nitpicking, others suspected this was a PR stunt for a new project. Dakota responded with a short, black and white story. "When you've lost enough, you know what's really worth keeping." Exclusive interview. A week later, the two agreed to an interview with Vanity Fair. The conversation took place in an open space, overlooking the Napa Valley. They sat next to each other, not avoiding each other. Reporter: "What made you two choose to go public at this time?" Jamie: "We were tired of living 2 lives. One for the screen, one for ourselves. And then one day you look at that person, who has been with you through so much, and you think, why did I have to pretend not to feel anything?" Dakota: "I was scared. Scared of being judged. But now I'm more scared of losing him, just because I didn't dare face the world." Jamie: "We don't need approval. Just to be ourselves. Happiness is not a message." Since the announcement, the two have lived quietly. Not chasing attention, not appearing at big events. They were seen walking together in Ireland, where Jamie was born. Once, they stopped at a used bookstore. Jamie picked up a copy of The Alchemist and handed it to Dakota. She smiled. "Are we following the dream?" Jamie replied, "No, we found it. Happiness is not something to prove. It is something to live with, and they are living it, every day." The unsent letter. A fan once sent Dakota a letter with the content, "Thank you for being brave. Looking at you and Jamie, I understand that love does not need anyone's permission." Number 1 knows if Dakota read it. But in an interview with The Cut, she handwrote a note to herself. "If one day you are brave enough to love without fear, hold on. Even if the world turns its back, you will still have yourself." Perhaps that was the letter she didn't send, or sent to the right place, Jamie's heart. We live for our happiness. 4 months later, there was no more sensational headline, no more noise. Just a 2-minute video posted by Jamie on her personal account, a scene of them cooking together. Dakota laughing loudly when Jamie spilled flour on the table. Jamie wearing a Mr. Gray apron, Dakota wearing his loose t-shirt. No dialogue, no background music, just a caption. Finally, we don't need to explain anymore, and below, millions of comments, most of which had only one word. Congratulations.